Hello. Welcome on back to my channel. Today I'm doing something a little bit different from what I'm used to. For the very first time really in my life, I'm going to be doing...
Spencer!
Thank you. I'm scared. I don't want to do this. I want my mommy.
But why are you wearing gym clothes?
Because I'm preparing to run away from my problems. So for the very first time today, I am going to be doing a graphic eyeliner. Now, if you're somebody who is petrified of doing a precise graphic liner, I assure you I'm floating in the same boat with you. I am extremely nervous about doing this because this is not my forte. But if I can do this, you for sure can do it. So if you want to learn how I created this look right here, then keep on watching. So to begin, I'm using the Wishful Honey Balm Jelly Moisturizer to prep the skin. This is my first time using this product and it has this pearl-like reflect in it. So I looked into it and it's loaded up with all these ingredients like honey and niacinamide, and it smells like lavender. So that's kind of fun too, if that's your thing. But it does have a slight purple hue to it. So if you're planning on wearing this without makeup on top, make sure to really let it sink into the skin before leaving the house, or else your skin could look a little ashy with it. But anyways, I'm bringing this all around the face, down the neck, and across the décolletage. For foundation, I'm using the Luminous foundation from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm mixing two different shades, which are shades 570N and 510W, and I'm applying this onto the skin with my beauty blender. I've mentioned it in the past, but I'm using the same beauty blender I use to apply the moisturizer, and it'll be the same one I use for blending in everything else on the face, including the contour and the highlight. This way, all the products I use are becoming unified in a way. The leftover moisturizer helps blend in the foundation, the leftover foundation helps blend in the contour. You see where I'm going with this. I list all of the products and shades I use of everything down below, but for foundation, it's tricky to find your right shade online, especially for deeper skin tones, such as our beautiful model here, Miss Crease Ramon. There are a few different shades and undertones happening. For example, the forehead is a deeper shade than the rest of her face, so this is where contouring is really going to help me out with the color matching. To contour, I'm using the Overachiever concealer from Huda Beauty, and I'm using the shade Chocolate Chip. I'm starting with the forehead area, placing this product around the perimeter just below the hairline. This shade is barely a shade deeper than the foundation we used, but really it makes the biggest difference. I didn't want to go too much deeper because I'm not really looking to make her forehead appear smaller. Our model today really already has the perfect bone structure to work with, so I just want to complement it, not change it. Once I've blended out that section, I'm going to move on to the cheekbones. I'm running this just underneath her cheekbone and then taking my beauty blender to blend it up and outwards. You usually see me use creams to contour, in which case I'll apply all of the contour first and then blend it out. But since we're working with a liquid concealer today, I'm blending everything out as I apply it because liquids will dry down a bit and become a bit more stubborn to move around. Whereas with creams, you have a lot more playtime with them. But on the bright side, since this concealer is a thinner formula than that of a cream, I can be a bit softer with the blend. I don't have to use too much pressure when blending out the product. And lastly, for contour, I'm just bringing this down the sides of the nose. Nothing too dramatic, just a little bit to bring back some definition, as everything tends to read flat from foundation. To highlight and conceal, I'm using the Overachiever concealer again from Huda Beauty, but this time it's in the shade Salted Caramel. And I'm first applying this to the under eye area using a concealer brush before blending it out with the beauty blender. I'll be sure to get this blend right today because with this lighting, you can see everything, which is gonna be my worst enemy when it comes to doing that eyeliner. You're used to seeing my videos in softer lighting, but I'm just trying to switch it up a bit, you know? I know a lot of you all ask about my lighting and camera setup and all of that, but truth be told, I'm still figuring all that out. Eventually, if it's something you all want to see, I can film a video of my setup, how I shoot these videos, how I edit them, all that good stuff, because I tell you, this is This is one low budget production here. I do it all. The filming, the lighting, the editing, the voiceovers, obviously the hair and makeup. It's a one-man show. So let me know down below in the comments if you'd care to see the behind the scenes of it all, and I can start working on that. But as for this concealer goes, after I've blended out the under eyes, I'll place just a tad bit on the cupid's bow, chin, and forehead, and then diffuse it outwards. Looking at this footage now, honestly, if I hadn't already committed to doing the graphic eyeliner look today, I would be so tempted to just finishing this look right here, right now. Creased skin literally looks like butter. It looks so beautiful. Now it's time to set everything. First, I'm using the Easy Bake Loose Powder from Huda Beauty in the shade Cinnamon Bun to set the under eyes, and I'm pressing this in using a powder puff. For the most part, I'm using this powder in the areas that we applied that lighter concealer beforehand, and it's really important to really press this powder into the skin. We don't want anything creasing throughout the day. Once we have that under eye set, I'm taking a deeper shade of that Easy Bake Loose Powder, which is shade Coffee Cake, and I'm using this to set the rest of the face. I'm really loving how the natural shine from creased skin is having a moment here. So I'm not gonna go in too heavy with the powder for the rest of the face. I'm being extremely light-handed with this powder, using a large, fluffy, and diffused face brush to apply it. If I wanted a more full coverage matte finish with this powder, I would use a powder puff to apply it. But as I said, I love that sheen we're seeing from the skin, so I'm gonna do what I can to keep that. To bronze, I'm using the Fenty Beauty Mocha Mami bronzer to reinforce the areas of the face we had applied the contour. Nothing too dramatic, guys, just a little something to give the face a little more dimension. Because the eye look is going to be pretty bold and strong, I wanted to keep everything soft with the skin. And later on, I warn you, wait till you see the skin once I apply the blush. It's epic. It's epic. To prep the eye, I'm using the Makeup by Mario Eye Prep and Set in the Deep Shade palette. Honestly, you all kind of know by now that I've never been one to really prime the eyelids. It's just one of those things that I've always skipped, and I've been kind of set in my ways about over the years. But real talk, after using this product, I really don't know how I've gone without it for so long. It's good. It really does make the eyelids so stinking smooth and makes shadows just glide on. Moving on to the brows, I'm using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the Espresso shade to fill in the brows. It's important to mention that when I was setting the eye primer, I brought up that pressed setting powder from the Makeup by Mario palette into the brows. I think I've mentioned it before on a past video, but setting the brows before applying the brow products will change the game for you. If you apply moisturizer and foundation before working on the brows like I do, it makes the skin slippery. So the brow pencil just glides on top without dispensing much product. But if you set the skin of the eyebrows first, it'll give the pencil something to grip onto, therefore getting a stronger payoff of product. With the 24-hour clear brow gel, I'm just gonna run this through the brow hairs. If you're someone who likes a bolder brow, you could definitely go stronger with this by using a tinted brow gel, but again, I'm trying to keep everything on the softer side here. To begin on the eyes, I'm mixing the Makeup by Mario Metal Manipulator in with the rose gold shade from his Master Metals eyeshadow palette to create a liquid metal shadow. I start with placing this in the inner corner of the eye and working my way on outwards, building the shape I want before we go in with the eyeliner. I used the rose gold shade in the palette because I felt this feminine pinky shade would contrast well with the strength and boldness of the eyeliner. And I felt like it'd be a fun color to complement our model's yellow shirt as well. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, let the fun begin. So I'm using a black gel eyeliner. This one is from Inglot, and I'm basically starting it out with doing a very basic wing liner before you see me build it up into the crease. Now, as I said earlier, This is my very first time ever doing a graphic liner, and this is the most basic version of a graphic liner. I've seen people get so creative and out there with it, but hey, I'm taking baby steps into this. I am the proper definition of a beginner when it comes to doing this kind of eyeliner. I'm figuring this all out along the way. Like, for example, you'll see me touch up the liner with that metallic pigment if I need to clean it up a bit. Or I also realized here in a minute, while I was doing the other eye off camera and trying to make them both even, that gel liner is not where it's at for this. A liquid liner is what's needed. I think starting off with a gel or even an eyeshadow to get the shape is a good way to start if you have shaky hands like myself. But once you've got the shape down on both eyes and you have them even, you then need to go over it with a liquid eyeliner. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second when you see both eyes complete. Once I've completed the other eye off camera, I'm using the Lancome Hypnose mascara to coat the top and bottom lashes. And as you can kind of see here, I've built up the liner on both eyes to get them as even as I possibly could. Is it perfect? No, but I did my best. And the camera wasn't rolling when I switched to using the liquid liner, but that's really what gave the liner that really defined and crisp look. The gel was a good start to get the shape down, but the thin consistency and formula of the liquid liner is what makes it look really sharp. And now I'm taking these 3 shades from the Norvina Volume 1 eyeshadow palette to blush up our model's cheeks. I'm going kind of heavy with this and high up on the cheekbones. It looks a little clownish at first, I know, but give it a minute. It'll settle into the skin beautifully. Besides me having hot flashes while doing the eyeliner earlier, this has actually been a really fun look to create today. I've enjoyed incorporating editorial makeup elements like the graphic liner and bold blush while keeping the lashes and the skin simple and really just making this a more wearable look for the everyday girl or boy. And with this highlighter from Ofra Cosmetics in the shade Soho, I'm lightly applying this to our model's cheekbones, just to bring back some radiance and glow to the skin. And I'll bring it up just a tad bit onto the forehead and Cupid's bow as well. Now for the lips, I'm going to keep it pretty simple today. I'm heading back to the contour product I used earlier, and I'm using this to line the lips. Doesn't have to be perfect, just enough product to get a good wash of color on there to truly make it nude. And with this ColourPop gloss in the shade Champagne Mami, I'm applying this onto the lips with a lip brush. You all already know I love a glossy lip, and it's usually the last product I use on the lips after a lip liner and lipstick, but I felt this lip was missing a little brightness and color in the center, so I do end up applying a lipstick after this gloss here in just a second. Alright, that lipstick is from Urban Decay in the shade Heartless, and I'm applying this just to the center of the lip. I think it helped make this look a little more interesting with that slight hue of pink for the center. For the body, I'm using the Glow Up Body Oil from e.l.f. to make the skin really glow. It's a little intense when you first apply it, but once it settles into the skin, it looks so beautiful, especially for flash photography. It just looks like you just, I don't know, walked off the beach and your skin is beaming like the sun. And to set the face, I'm using the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, which makes this the very last step in creating this edgy graphic liner look. And there we have it, kids. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. You can also check out more of my work on my Instagram at PAINTEDBYSPENCER. And until next time, I'll see you soon.